What is up? We are the AFK Company, and this is episode 13 of Take That L.
14 now.
14, let's get
14.
it. 14 of Take That L. This week we're going to start off about talking about the Funko Fusion game. So a trailer for that recently, I think they just uploaded it today, this morning. So it was teased last year in the summer that they're going to there's going to be like a partnership between Funko and I think it was 1010 Games. So this is their first game. They're an indie developer. This would be like their first like AAA game. So basically what this game is, it's an action adventure type of game, similar to the Lego Star Wars, where you're kind of running around doing obstacles and exploring the world, that type of fashion. So it's got a similar premise like Toy Story, where the Funko Pops kind of become their own characters and um, run around and do things. They have franchises in here that include Jurassic World, Back to the Future, The Thing, Masters of the Universe, which is like He-Man and all that stuff. Apparently, there's going to be like lots of playable characters, each with their own personalities and abilities. Let's hope that doesn't lie into like the Suicide Squad, where they're just all kind of the same. But I guess we'll have to see what they do with it. And they said eventually it's going to have an online multiplayer, which will include up to 4 players. It'll be coming to PC and console in 2024. What do you guys think? Easy pickup or easy pass?
Um,
Well, first
is
off, I can't see this game being a $60 game, I guess. So
my
if it's
first
gonna
thought.
be, yeah, I was gonna say if they try and pass this off as like a AAA title type of price grab for it, then probably not. But it actually looks like a pretty decent game if it was around $30. It's kind of like the
Yeah,
Lego Star Wars mix, but then it's got like the big head characters as you would with the Funko Pops. So kind of curious about it.
I was in the same spot. I said if it's 60 or $70, I probably no. But I'm right now like 25 to like $30 range, where I'd be like, yeah, let's
yeah.
let's pick it up. Especially if it goes on sale, which it probably won't for quite a while since it's not even released. It'll be like 2025 before it even goes on sale. But I don't know. If it's $30, I could definitely see picking this up. I think it'd be cooler if they found a way to integrate more of like the Funko Pop franchises. It's cool if they're bringing a few big ones off the crack, but if they can find a way to
Yeah.
get more in there by next year, that'd be even better.
Do you guys ever remember playing Skylanders?
I
Did you
I
guys ever
mean,
play that?
I've never played it, but I know like what it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did. I think this is what they're going for. Um,
Skylander.
yeah, so Skylanders,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I know what this
It's
is.
so
it's the
you
one where you
would,
have to buy like the figurines and then you like put it on something and you play that character,
yeah,
right?
it used to be huge back in the day. Like you would buy the base game like it was a normal game, and you would get like a set amount of figures for each like set. You could get like different sets, um, and then you would buy
Hmm.
additional figurines and you would place them on like this portal thing, and then they would allow you to play them in the game. So is
Yeah,
that what they're
I
doing?
remember
Do
this
you
now.
take like a code you get off the Funko Pop box? It looks like that's what they're doing. They had like the box and then the dinosaur stepped out of it. I'll bet you that's what they're doing is that the Funko Pops you get in real life you can play in the game.
I mean, that would be super dope, but as of right now, I've been reading like stuff about it, and that's not what it is.
Hmm.
So the
That's
base
Like
weird.
game
this.
itself has like 6 different levels, and each of those levels are like a property, such as like Jurassic World or Back to the Future.
I was gonna say what kind of like not. I don't know if there's a campaign or like a storyline or what's like the. Is there an end goal or something?
I
Boss fight
mean,
or anything like
I'm
that?
honestly I'm not too sure. I've only
I
seen
kind of
like the trailer about it, and they're just kind of running around like doing stuff. There's not really a kind of a goal that I could
yeah,
see
kind of
from the
seems more like
trailer.
a
So
GTA style. Like you get a character and then you just go around and do whatever the hell you want. But it kind of curious what they do with it.
I'd say
Yeah.
there's a couple warning signs for me on it potentially failing, especially the eventually having an online multiplayer. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean they're waiting to see if it fails on first pass or not, and then okay, maybe we'll develop that. That's always a red flag
Right.
when they're saving like key features like multiplayer and saying, yeah, we'll maybe develop that down the line.
That reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2, where they didn't release multiplayer for like a month and a half, and multiplayer was absolutely fucking garbage when it first got released. I know it got better over time, but it never really got widely adopted. Like it was never played like GTA 5 online where they got released. And that's I'm just comparing
Hmm.
those two because they're from the same studio. Um, so yeah, I agree that's like minorly concerning, but the fact that it's only up to 4 players, I'm guessing it's gonna be like, kind of like dungeon clearing type and like level
Yeah.
clearing type thing, as opposed to like an open world type multiplayer is my guess.
Yeah. And I have one other gripe. I feel like you can't do the same type of things you can do with Legos that you can with Funko Pops. I feel like I'm not knocking on Funko Pops, like I own a bunch of them myself, but I feel like they're not quite intricate enough as designed like character models to really interest a lot of people in that way in the video game space. I could be
Yeah, I see what you're
wrong. I
saying.
mean, maybe it'll be a good thing for like kids to play or whatever, and they think it's really big, just like Skylanders. Skylanders, but I feel like even Skylanders are more. They were pretty cool figurines back in the day,
Yeah.
and they weren't cheap. Like, and people would still buy them. So if it finds a market, I mean, good on them. But I just see a few things that potentially could be warning signs.
I mean, we'll see. It's
Yeah.
still a year until it comes out, so a lot could change in that time because I'm assuming they're still in the development process. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of updates to games and new games coming out, I know me and Connor have finished Grounded, but I don't think Noah and Tusha have it all.
Nope.
They actually released just today a huge. It's called the Super Duper Game Update 1.2, and it's actually pretty cool. They added 100 new craftable items, new gear sets. They added a bunch of quality of life enhancements. There's now the Queen Wasp, so you can battle like smaller wasps beforehand and then go into that battle. So it kind of adds like a whole new aspect onto the game for people that have finished it. There's also like a coziness and comfort aspect to the game, kind of like if people played in Valheim, you've seen like the cozier your house is, the higher level coziness you have, and then you get more buffs from that. So I'm wondering if this is something that'll bring a lot of people back to the game since it's been out for a while. I know it kind of just finished up the beta somewhat recently, and then um, been releasing small updates here and there. But I'm just kind of curious if they decide to keep updating it like this. It seems like a pretty cool update. So wondering what you guys are thinking.
I'll let Connor go because
Yeah.
he's played the game full game, so I'll kind of chime in at the end.
Yeah, so I was looking at something real quick. Yeah, no, I think the comfort level is actually really important for those types of base building games because I mean, you remember me playing Valheim. I spend a lot of my and a lot of players are like me where they spend a majority of their time in survival crafting games creating like a base. Sometimes they don't even
Hmm.
explore like a lot. They just want
Yeah.
like the different base building elements so that they have like this all encompassing home base area. You got all like the crafting organized, all of like the comfort systems organized, all of like the storage. Like I think that to me is a really important aspect of those types of games. So having that in an already great game like Grounded is just going to boost it to another level. And I hope that they keep going along with this because this is a type of game that you could keep releasing updates for and people will keep having interest in it and keep playing it and buying into it. So good
Yeah,
on
and
them.
I know they had some type of a coziness level where you would sleep in the crow bed, and then your hunger and thirst, um, the depreciation of your hunger and thirst would get decreased, so it wasn't going down as fast. But I think that was just about it to the coziness level. I can't remember if they had anything else at all, Connor. But yeah, pretty cool update. I'll probably hop back in eventually and take on the wasp. I did 100% the game and fought all the bosses, so
Nice.
pretty interested in all like the battles for in Grounded are actually really cool, and a lot of the abilities. I know if you end up fighting one of the last end bosses, he's a side boss, but very cool battle, really hard too. So I'm curious to see how hard this one is.
Yeah, me too. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're adding the comfort level because I feel like it actually adds a purpose to like building a cool base. Because like in a lot of these games, there's not actually like a true purpose to it, other than making sure you have all the functional crafting items to get what you need to like go
Well, I mean,
explore your
in
game.
Grounded already had a pretty complex base building system compared to some other ones. I think it had a decent amount, especially where you could like draw the storage. So if you had like storage systems, like chests and stuff around a crafting system, you would be able to pull from those without actually going into them, which is really nice. And then you had like drying racks, the
Right, but
pallets.
what I'm saying is like actually like putting time and effort into like building a cool base. Like I guess how does the comfort system work? Is it just like having items in there that boost your comfort, or is it like actually like, designing a cool base type thing?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the comfort allows for aesthetically pleasing bases to be also good.
Right.
But I think the practical side of base building was already pretty complex
Yeah.
and grounded.
Oh, okay. I never got that far into it, so I can't
Yeah, especially
comment
the
all
zip
that
lines. I love zip lines. I think zip lines should be in like every single type of crafting survival game. I hope it's in Sons of the Forest when we play that, so, or some aspect, some type of fast travel that lets you like look above the map because the maps are always so intricate in those games, and it's such a nice thing where you get to like see the whole scope of it. Like in Arc you get to fly around, and so you
Mhm.
get to see like the whole map. But in other
Yeah.
games where you're on foot all the time, you only get to see like trees in front of you and stuff. So
Yep.
I think my take on it is that I feel like with games like these, especially once you finish the game, it's like it's gonna take a lot for you to come back to it. And I feel like if they release updates like these, it'll just keep the fan base more, not like alive, but like more willing to hop on the game and play with their friends and stuff. So
I think of it as a community building project because people will flock to a particular type of game if they know that it will be around for a while and the
yeah,
community will
for
be
sure.
around especially. I know like Northgard has stuck around for a while. Don't Starve Together. Even though these indie games can have relatively small communities, they have very loyal communities because of these
Right.
constant updates and love that the developers show.
Yeah.
So if Grounded becomes one of those new, I think a good word for it is like cult classic type, where people will constantly be like, "Oh my god, this is my favorite game of all time," even though it's like not super mainstream.
Yeah,
That's what it's doing, and I can applaud that. I'd like to see that.
for sure. Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I also like that it's a major update and not just like, a few little small tweaks or updates like, oh, we added this mob here, and you kind of just go in for 5 minutes and check it out. But they actually added like a full new boss, new item. So I like that they're adding a lot of new game functionalities with updates as opposed to like, small little patches to their game. Patches
Yeah, I
are
agree.
great for quality of life and kind of improving and limiting bugs and things like that. But um, good to see them putting in the effort to keep their game going. For
Yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Um, okay. I guess over on to more of like the business side of gaming. There's a few things going on this week. One big thing that happened is the whole Apple versus Epic, mobile gaming and in-app purchases dispute. This has been going on for a few years now, but it just went through like its second appeals court, and they did. I guess let me back up. So Epic is disputing like Apple's 30% cut it takes from in-app purchases. So if you play a game on your phone and you buy something in an app, Apple takes 30% of that developer's revenue from
Gotcha.
that. Um, and Epic was saying that they had a monopoly over the market because if you have an iPhone, you have to use it. Um, uh, the court decided that it didn't break any antitrust laws. Um, but the court did rule that Apple cannot restrain app developers from sending people to a web browser to complete a transaction, which kind of reroutes them around that 30% fee. It's
Yeah.
just a little bit more annoying for those people that are trying to buy something on their phone. It's way easier to go through like Apple Pay or just on your phone or and whatnot. So slightly more annoying for users, but it's way more beneficial for the developers and publishers.
Hmm.
Um, Epic still has Fortnite off the App Store, and they have since like late 2020. Um, Curious what you guys think about this, or if you guys care. Or I know you guys don't play a ton of mobile games, but I think an interesting kind of debate around like microtransactions and kind of how these larger, just general corporations like Apple are kind of playing in the space.
You forgot to
Yeah.
click on the X, idiot. You're going to the App Store. Ah!
Yeah,
Whenever I get those stupid ads.
I don't. Yeah, I hate the ads that pop up, or if you even if you're trying to like look at something, you can't click out of them. It's like watch this game play for 30 seconds, and then you can play the game while you're waiting to watch the ad, but you can't actually leave it. That stuff
Yeah.
pisses me off. But I I think mobile gaming is just they thrive on microtransactions, and especially for your smaller developers trying to get ahead on games that they send to the App Store. I think it's kind of nice for them to do that. Because I know Apple's been pretty restrictive on everything that goes into their platform, especially on the App Store. So it's kind of nice to see that, but also Epic Games is kind of a pain in the ass with all of their restrictions that they put on who, what kind of games can go on their platform. For like, they pay somebody to stay on the Epic Games platform for X amount of time, which is kind of annoying. So
I'd love to know what their platform fees are in terms of like if you're on the Epic Games Store, like what percentage does Epic Games take? Does anybody know that
Yeah,
off the top of their head? 'Cause I
I'm
mean,
no,
I'd
not.
fucking laugh if it's like 25% and they're bitching to Apple about
Yeah,
like
right.
30. The most
Isn't like
hypocritical
the
argument.
Steam isn't the Steam publisher fee for like game developers like 20% or something?
I don't remember, but now I'm curious. I feel like we should look that up at some point. But um, um, no, again, I think it's super interesting, and what Curtis said around like, oh, they're so dependent on a lot of these microtransactions. You either go in the direction of like going with a paid game, or you're dependent on ads plus microtransactions. And the fact that like all of these games are like relying on like, let's say like $1.50 or $2 to like remove ads, and if Apple's taking like 30% of that, they're getting like a buck for every microtransaction at that point.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so I guess if you care about mobile gaming, um, I don't necessarily know how much you care about this. Like if you prefer to use the Apple thing and now you're going to be irritated because you have to go to like a web browser and like pull out your credit card every time to buy something, or if you're like, yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. But
I mean, to me, this is like King Ghidorah and Rodan fighting. I hate both of them, and they're trying to screw me over. So let them fight.
yeah, Epic's lost every single time in court. It seems like
so
they haven't had a whole lot of wins lately in court.
Epic. I'm actually kind of surprised, but Epic only takes a 12% commission on game sales, so the developers keep 88% of the remaining money.
Okay.
For Steam,
That's
which is
good.
Valve, they keep 30% of the sales on the games that you make, but I guess there's like once you hit certain like sale milestones, the percentage decreases.
Okay.
But 30% is a lot to
Yeah,
take away
I
from
didn't
a
realize Steam took that much. Damn, dude. Well, I
I
guess
mean, it
Epic
is
is
the pretty
is
much
I get it.
majority
Yeah.
seller or
well,
yeah.
distribution platform.
in that case, you could justify that it would be lower because they have a high amount of volume, so they don't need as high of a percentage. Um, but you know,
I
I
like
hear that.
money.
They
Epic
like that
Games does
moolah.
kind of have
Ridiculous.
Epic Games in this case actually does have kind of the moral high ground in terms of like
Surprisingly, maybe
percentages.
that's why games have
Surprisingly,
been kind of sticking towards Epic Games for a little bit,
Uh
yeah.
you know. Huh?
oh, the reason they've been sticking to Epic Games is because they pay them to stick with Epic
Well,
Games.
I know, but they're also that 18% that they're still gaining staying on Epic Games is better than going on Steam. I mean, yeah, you can sell a lot more games when you go on Steam, but I'm just saying starting off, like think along how long Chivalry was on this Epic Game Store before it hit Steam
Yeah, do you know why?
because they paid them.
Yeah, they paid them.
Well,
It's
I
called an
know that.
Epic exclusivity deal. They pay
It's
them to
a
stay on
it's
I
a
Epic a
it's a two
year before
pronged
they
thing.
release on Steam. That's why I
I
hate
under
them.
I
It's a two
understand that.
pronged thing. I think it could be both reasons. Like okay, like in addition to why it's okay to kind of take this money is we're getting a higher percentage of the sales. But anyway,
The only reason Epic Games takes less of a cut is to undercut Steam's revenue
Correct.
or undercut their customers. That's the only
Right.
reason. If Epic was the bigger one, they'd be taking 40%.
Maybe.
Guarantee it.
That's a double-edged sword right there, man. I don't know. No matter what you do, I think it's going to affect you in a negative or positive way. I don't think you're going to have the best of both worlds.
Like I can't remember the last time like Steam did anything notably scummy. Can you?
No, not that I can remember.
Yeah, I can't really think of any.
They
I
just
feel
kinda
like
shut
generally
up.
they're pretty neutral in terms of the gaming community.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Hmm.
they have the best platform, so they just don't have to say anything, or they're just like, okay, we're just gonna keep on keeping on.
Right.
Yeah, and their community workshop and everything like that is so much nicer. I know,
Agreed.
like Epic Games, I have a hard time navigating it sometimes because it's kind of
Well, and a lot of it's like,
cluttered.
and a lot of it's just like mass player base, because like I know we were trying to play Chivalry. Me and Connor have it on Epic because we've been playing it for a really long time. One of our friends got it on Steam. There's like no way to play with them, and so just like the overall community size on Steam makes people lean that way more, just because like the ability to play with your friends is a lot easier than
Hmm.
that versus
Yeah,
Hmm.
if you're
and
buying Epic and you can't play with people.
because there's such like in such dispute, like you're never going to be able to get like the save files from one over to the other.
Right.
They're never
Correct.
going to let you do that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Um, but I
Let
know
them fight.
the other the other big business news. I know Connor was talking about NetEase and Blizzard. Um,
Yeah,
and
you
the
guys
event.
actually caught this right as I caught it. I caught it a little bit too before we hopped on today. I saw that there was a little news correction. So what's been circulating around the news like a day ago now was that reportedly NetEase was suing Blizzard for 44 million, but apparently it's actually just one guy in China, um, who I don't know if he was like actually a customer of Blizzard and NetEase, and maybe like playing WoW or something, and he was suing them, but he's suing them for 44 million, so that amount was correct. But for whatever reason, he named in the docket for the legal proceedings that NetEase was a appellate
Hmm.
or a
Yeah, I don't know how he
appellate or
did that
appellant. I
because
can't remember, but so
yeah,
basically, what happened is they showed up as if they were a friendly party to that one guy, which means that they're like in suit with him, but they're not. So there
Oh,
was a
okay.
mistake on that legal end, and that's why all these news outlets were saying, "Oh, NetEase is suing Blizzard for 44 million." No,
I'm sure NetEase is sitting over like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't do
be like, we
Huh?
never released that. We're going to be doing that next year.
it.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of big on their part to like not kind of keep an eye on anything because I feel like they would have had to do some sort of acknowledgement to get that as an appellant for that single person.
Well, it would have been on the court side. It would be a clerical error
Yeah,
because
that's
you could name somebody as that, and then if you never get their signature, that shouldn't be that. But if the court just like, okay, well they're a friendly party, then they're a friendly party now, and that's going to be on the record.
yeah, I
Um,
guess.
but I'm assuming the reason that it was caught so quickly was because of some NetEase searching and be like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently the guy who's doing it is a serial suer.
Oh, he's one
apparently
of those
he's
guys.
yeah. Apparently he sued NetEase as well. We gotta look.
Dang.
I gotta look
And
more
then
into this guy. But
and they're
Typically,
the
what
friendly,
happens in
they're the
these
friendly side.
typically what happens in these cases is like he'll sue for an outrageous amount, and it'll get picked up by all these PR places, and Blizzard will just settle with him for a way lower amount to make
yeah,
him to shut it all up. So he'll still
Yeah.
make a fuckload of cash on this deal, most likely, unless I don't know how the China court systems work, but
I have no idea.
um, um, but why they do things like this. It's why these.
Oh,
types of
we should probably explain what this was, just in case nobody was following along with that whole NetEase drama.
Yeah.
NetEase is the Chinese corporation that because all U.S. companies or international companies that are working with China have to have a paired company that originates from China working with them and undergoing operations there. Just kind of like keep an eye on them and make sure that they're
Be the
keeping
Chinese
up
government.
with Chinese ideals and the Chinese government. And uh, Blizzard had like all their game servers shut down basically because they had missed a deal. Like their what's the word I'm looking for?
They didn't renew their contract, or
Yeah, they had a deal with NetEase and it fell through, and then Blizzard pulled out and said, "Yeah, we're not doing that deal. We basically none of our games are going to be accessible in China." And everybody's been really pissed because like imagine you've been playing WoW for 20 years and now all of your account data is gone. The servers are shut down in China. You can't play them anymore. So that's been a whole deal in of itself. And I don't think this guy probably even because in court you have to prove that you were hurt in some way. So maybe he was like a WoW player or something, and he had like a year long account or something. Maybe he had like the free trial.
yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna sue.
I know in the U.S. how it works is he'll just like continue to appeal over and over again. I don't know if that's a thing in China, um, but we'll see, man. If the Chinese government doesn't really like Blizzard right now either, is my guess. They're probably like,
You can get in trouble
Let
for
it fly.
you
let
can
it
get in
fly.
trouble for trying to appeal too many times as like it's a frivolous suit.
You can. Doesn't mean people don't do it.
Like sometimes the appellate judge will charge the attorney fees back onto you.
Right. Again, it's just about whether or not the company is willing to put up with the PR of it all, which is again why people do that type of stuff. But you
Yeah.
know, glad it at least got rectified that NetEase is not suing Blizzard, because that would have been just a whole other nightmare if that stayed out in the news too long and they didn't dispute it. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering how they got the information then about what the lawsuit is about, because what the lawsuit is about seems to be related to NetEase.
mhm.
How is this guy suing for
Right.
uh, issues that NetEase has had? Because the suit was basically about uh, redress for unsold merchandise. Like this has nothing to do with like a single person. Like the access, so the no longer having access to Blizzard games is something that an individual could have been damaged by, but unsold merchandise isn't. So I want to know where these like news places got that information, because that doesn't make any sense if this is a leaked thing by one guy.
Yeah, it's possible that that's not even that
That's
thing.
like me suing. That's like me suing Microsoft because they didn't sell enough like CPUs or something.
Right. Um, I don't think we'll find out anytime soon, unless China and this other guy kind of makes it more public in terms of like what the actual suit is about. Because again, this is all leaked, so it's not like there's any press statement about it. So
Right.
unless something's said publicly or NetEase release something and they get more information, kind of feel like it's just bullshit at this point. But on to other news that's more real. This week, Jedi Survivor is being released on April 28th. So I know we have a few of you guys are Star Wars fans. Are any of you picking this up? Because I know Tush,
I
I think you
might.
picked up Fallen Order. Have you
Yeah, I've
played?
picked up Fallen Order. Haven't played through it yet. I mean, I doubt this one's gonna be released on PC even this year.
I think it's released
So
on April
Oh,
28th.
is it a console exclusive?
I'm
yeah,
90% sure you can play it on April
on
28th.
on PC?
Yeah,
What?
almost. I'm gonna check
Yeah,
right
like
Wow.
now.
there's very few times where they're just solely console exclusive
Yeah,
and not
Jedi
like
Survivor releases 2 days on Steam.
okay.
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay, dope.
Yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
think
I'll
about
have to
it.
play through the first one first, but
I
definitely
don't know if I
thinking
want to
about it.
spend
Yeah.
$70 on it is
Yeah,
my thing.
it's a $70 game, so I'll be picking it
Okay.
up. But Connor, have you played the first one yet or no?
Mm-mm.
You should play the first one.
I mean,
The two should,
I know enough about Star Wars where I could pick it up and have no problem following
you
along.
could. Um,
Don't do
I've
it.
actually watched some of the scenes from the first one anyway, so
yeah, you could probably watch like a 20 or 30 minute summary video.
That Vader scene is really good.
it's fucking the last fight is hard.
Bro, just spoiled it for me. What the
Well, nothing,
fuck?
dude.
What the fuck?
What, you think Vader's not gonna be in a Star Wars game? Come on.
I didn't know he was gonna be in this fucking game.
I didn't either. I haven't played it yet.
Well, get to it.
Fuck
Yeah, a
you,
little
what
late
the
now.
Yeah, dude, yo. Nah, it's fine. I don't care. I'm still gonna play
I was
it, so
actually watching. So you know those like VR games, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching somebody. They have like a sword and sorcery. If you guys ever saw that, it's like VR realistic fighting,
Yeah, my brother has it.
and they have like a lightsaber version of it. And there was some guy demonstrating like all the different 7 lightsaber forms in it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
That's
sick.
pretty dope.
Yeah, using the lightsabers in the battlefield's pretty cool on that. I like the test arena.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the new lightsaber gameplay because it was good in the first one, but they've definitely advanced it and kind of stepped it up a little bit more in the second one, from at least what I can see on a lot of trailers and things being released. But I will definitely be picking it up and playing it this weekend.
Oh yeah.
I'm fucking stoked for it.
Who's the main
Uh,
character?
Cal Kestis. He's basically like a young adult, so like 18, 19 Jedi that was like escaped the Jedi Temple, and was kind of like living undercover um, in the Empire, and that's kind of where Fallen Order picks up. Is that he kind of like picks up the mantle of, kind of disassembling like the what do they call the Inquisitors or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where like the journey of that first one, and I don't really know where the second one picks up because it's been years since I've played it, so I need to probably rewatch how that ends again. But
Anakin, there's too many of them. What are we going to do?
well, if you've seen the movies, I think Anakin's gonna be just fine. Um, no, I'm fucking stoked for this. Do you guys have any other thoughts on Jedi Survivor? I know there's been a lot of news around Star Wars lately, but
Not too much.
Yeah, Han
I've-
Solo
I've
shot
been-
first.
Yeah.
Han Solo shot first.
Yeah.
dude, the one I'm more excited about in terms of like Star Wars game properties is the like essentially No Man's Sky version of Star Wars that they're developing, where it's like a fully open world.
I
That
haven't
would be
seen this.
pretty
What is this
cool.
called?
What is it called? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. It's like
No
it's
Man's
StarCraft.
Star Wars.
open world game.
A
It's
New
called
Hope.
Snowdrop. It's being developed by Ubisoft. There's like barely any information.
Shit,
Oh,
really?
Ubisoft.
Sounds dope.
Snowdrop?
It's just like what the project is being called. It's not actually the name
Gotcha.
of the
okay.
game. Like they basically just released a concept at this point where it's more or less like an infinite galaxy,
Yeah,
but
the
the
Star Wars
Star
project.
Wars universe.
Sus. I don't like that. That's
Dude,
Why
sus.
not?
if they nail the concepts, dude, that'll be a fucking great game because that's been the one thing that's been missing from all these Star Wars games is like a truly like open world and expansive experience.
It's gonna
Um,
be a Assassin's Creed but Star Wars version is what
I
it's
hope
gonna
not.
turn into.
I really hope.
All
not.
right. Well, that just killed all my hope for the game, like by 90%.
Hey,
I wouldn't put it past Ubisoft to pull some stupid shit.
I still have hope for it because Lucasfilms and Disney's involved, so it's not like
Okay.
Ubisoft just has like the rights to it and they can run with it and they don't have any say.
I shall do what I wish.
If it was
There's
just
a lot
Disney and-
of stinker Star Wars games. We only hear about the good ones. It's a huge franchise.
it is. I mean, Lego Star Wars was a hit. I would say there's probably more hit Star Wars games than there is bad ones.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And the fact that Lucasfilms is involved makes me more confident that this is going to be successful than if it was just Ubisoft or Ubisoft and Disney producing it.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, did you guys hear the drama actually? The actor for Boba Fett was basically dissing Star Wars and
Well, that
like
was
the
just a
Mandalorian
series, so-
playwriters
What'd he say?
saying like they basically shit on his character and made him into a bitch.
I mean, yeah, they did.
Yeah. was
I'd
like,
be
yeah.
pissed too. Fuck.
I think they actually
Man, speaking
canceled the
facts.
cameo that he was supposed to have in the Mandalorian season 3.
I haven't watched
Really?
Mandalorian season 3 yet, but
Yeah.
I've now heard good things.
Same.
Yep.
I haven't seen it either, but I heard it was
The
a
first
minute at
4 episodes
most.
really good, and I've heard a lot of bad stuff with it, what I haven't seen, which is 5 and on. So
Okay. I'm gonna watch it here in the next few weeks, but no.
this is the
I
way.
also saw that they released like the concept for Lucasfilms, what they want to do with the previous three films. I don't know how long this has been out, but I saw something on that earlier today. Have you guys seen that before or no?
They keep
No.
saying that they're gonna retcon it, and they're not gonna retcon it. I it. I'll wait and see what happens. I mean, they made like some sweeping generalization back a while ago where they were like, okay, well, all the extended universe stuff is non-canon, and everybody's like, well, okay, can you do that to the prequel trilogy or the
Mhm.
sequel trilogy?
Yeah.
And if that happened, whatever, maybe we can start over and not have garbage movies.
Yeah. Although they did say that they're doing I think I saw that they're doing like like another Star Wars film where it's like basically
With
25,000
Ray.
years.
Yeah.
No, it's not with Ray.
Oh yeah, no, they announced another one with Ray.
No, they
Yeah, they
didn't.
did. Yeah, they
Yeah,
did. They did.
Oh,
Why are they
no.
wasting money on that?
I don't know.
Oh, no. There's
Somehow
another one that they're
Ray
doing,
has
which is like,
returned.
no, they shouldn't do that. But no, they announced like another project where they're doing like one way in the past, like 25,000 years before like all the Empire stuff, where it's more about the discovery of the Force.
I always thought it would be cool to have
That'd be pretty sick.
that type where it's a movie where you have a lot more characters, a lot more Jedi type and Sith type characters. So it's like when they get into those lightsaber combats, you can be a lot more gruesome with the fights. Where like where Anakin's cutting off Dooku's hand and head and
Yeah.
stuff like that, where each character is super expendable, so you can actually show the quick and brutal nature of those types of fights and like more lethal uses of the Force. It's like imagine like pushing like 15 people into a wall with like a Force push or something, and they just all like
Mhm.
die, stuff like that. You just like break
Yeah.
their neck.
There's so much cool things they can do, and again, it's just about whether or not Disney's going to manage it properly because they haven't in the last however many movies. So,
I
um,
just keep hearing layoff after layoff in all these big companies. I'm like, at some point they just got to get somebody in who's actually a fan of these properties. I don't know how they keep like serially getting the worst people to run these franchises directly into the ground in a pile of fire, but
Just ask Blizzard.
yeah. But like, okay, who has never seen any of the movies ever, actively hates anything that has to do with our property, and doesn't know anything about good storytelling if it hit them in the face? Yeah, let's get that guy to make the new Star Wars series. Like,
well,
okay,
I
well,
think their point of view on it is like we want somebody that has a fresh take on it or a fresh point of view, and I think
Bad
that's a
bad
fucking
take.
terrible idea.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
that's why
yeah,
they're hemorrhaging money.
um, again, I think it's okay to be hopeful, but at the same time, once they actually start releasing shit and it looks like it looks terrible, then it's fine to shit all over it. But
Star
except for
Wars:
the
A New Hope squared.
except for the sequel with Ray, I have absolutely no hope for that.
Nah, you
If
love it. You're
abs-
excited for it.
Ray,
we've seen
you're my
enough of that
only hope.
character. We've seen enough of that character.
No, they'll
Should
bring back
be
Princess Leia one more time.
Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh, I
Imagine.
cannot forget when she just sucked herself back into the deck of that ship. I'm like, this woman is dead in real life. You do not have to reanimate her corpse like this.
Yeah, bro.
and then literally just
Oh,
basically put her in a coma until she could fucking disappear to the force or whatever the fuck they
bro,
could say.
can we talk about how disappointing that was? She literally had a moment where it was her own son who killed her in that scene, like pushing him further into the dark side. Like perfect ending,
Well, he
good
didn't do it.
send off.
He didn't do it.
I thought he did.
No,
No,
he was about to, and then someone
he was
else did
about
it.
to, and then a different starfighter did it.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna do it. I think they should have made him do it.
Actually, they should have. That'd been way better.
Because then
Yeah.
he'll have kid built his father and his mother, and then it's like just driving him further along to the dark side. But that would have been a perfect send off. Maybe have like way more emotional scenery before that, just because as a personal send off to the actor, and then be done with it there. and then scrap everything that came after and rewrite it, obviously. But
Mhm.
What are you gonna do?
Didn't happen.
I mean, how many more can you bring Harrison Ford back for before he can't walk?
I love how much he
Like that.
hates doing those cameos too.
He's
He's
gonna be in
said
a
that he does
wheelchair.
not care about the character at all anymore.
Yeah,
He's
he's
like, I'm
gonna be
just
in a
here for the
wheelchair,
money.
man.
Man doesn't give a fuck, and you can't blame him either. They're probably paying him a bag to come back.
Fuck yeah, they are. So
Never
much
tell me
fucking
the
money.
odds. He just like pulls onto set.
All right,
You
Chewie,
guys-
let's do
oh,
this.
a completely separate note. Did you guys see that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Iron
As
Man
Iron Man? No.
in Secret
Pro-
Wars?
So he's
Was
gonna
he-
be from the
Skrull?
multiverse.
What's up?
Is he a scroll?
I don't know. I saw like multiple articles where they were saying he's coming back for like Secret Wars and the other Avengers movie.
I mean, he's
Like-
coming back for money, but
Dude, they should not.
So is he
bring him
gonna be
back,
from?
dude.
They're gonna
Just bring-
introduce the multiverse
Just fucking.
they've
leave him
already
dead,
introduced
man.
the multiverse.
Yeah, what the
of
fuck?
Iron Man's, not
We're
Spider
like
Man's.
we're like 6 movies into the multiverse.
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
it's
I'm
kind of
saying
ruined
like not
everything, to be
the
honest, but we've talked about that.
the
40
new
times already.
realities. They're gonna just take Iron Man from a different reality and just bring him here, and then that's it.
Pro-
He'll
And
just
then
Probably
pay,
what's
like,
gonna happen,
$125
yeah.
million a movie. Yeah, I'm sure.
The only way I could see him coming back is, like you said, if they got an alternate version of him, which is kind of stupid. But the only other way is if anybody's ever actually seen Ironheart, probably not. She's not a very well liked character, but in that, she is actually tutored by a virtual version of Iron Man.
That's what a lot of the fan theories that I was seeing is that he created like an AI version of himself prior to his death that would be a part of like the Ironheart thing.
That'd be pretty sick.
I don't think that'd be sick, but
What?
I just don't personally. I think the only time I've liked when they brought a character back as a hologram was in Man of Steel when Russell Crowe did it as
because
Jor-El.
it made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Can you think of any other time where they brought a character back as like a hologram version and it was like good? Other than that,
No.
Tupac Shakur. You didn't see the concert?
really and true.
There's a concert where they had like Tupac Shakur like dancing on it and rapping as like a hologram.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did see that.
Just can't let it
It's
go.
really him. He's back.
Really him.
He really
dude.
was
It's
hiding
him.
this whole time.
Dude, he was in Cuba this whole time.
He's back as a hologram.
Castro was hiding him out. He's back. But I guess the one other big kind of piece of news that came out today was the Witcher 3, Witcher Season 3 trailer. It's actually coming out this summer. It's a lot sooner than I kind of expected. It's releasing in 2 parts, so one late June and one late July. It is the last season with Henry Cavill, so it is the last season that matters because nobody is going to watch Liam Hemsworth as Geralt, especially after seeing Henry Cavill. The only way I am watching season 4 is if everybody says it's so good that it's undeniable, but I have not seen a single positive comment around Liam Hemsworth being Geralt after Henry Cavill. So
Yeah, that and the
I guess
show
I'm guessing
writers. The show writers, yeah, I saw season 2, but the show writers just like absolutely impaled themselves. You guys remember all that drama? Literally, the writers
Mhm.
expressly said they did not like the source material.
yeah, and Henry Cavill's whole thing when he signed on for it is that he wanted to be more true to the source material,
True
which I
to
think
the
they did
story,
really
yeah.
well in season 1, and then they kind of abandoned it in season 2. Like I haven't read the books, but I've played and watched through all the games, and I don't think Eskil is supposed to die in the books like he does in season 2. So again, they just abandoned major characters in The Witcher.
Disclaimer: if you've already seen Witcher 3, you can watch. If you haven't seen Witcher,
The Witcher season 2 has been out for like a year and a half. I don't feel bad about spoiling it.
that's
It's been out for
okay.
like a year, so y'all haven't even seen
I
season 1.
I feel
so
like
don't
I
care.
feel like season
No, I've
1
seen
and
it.
2. Season 1 was a lot more memorable for me than season 2. I don't remember much of season 2.
I remember the battle, and that's about it.
The battle at the castle.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. Everything else is kind of like blurry to me already.
And then Yennefer trying to regain her magic,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much all I remember.
Yeah, that's her name.
What are you laughing at?
Fuck is Yennefer?
One of the
Yennefer.
characters.
Yennefer.
Got me fucked up with those
She's the
names.
dime of a witch, Tusha.
Is she really a dime piece though?
Yeah, she went from the Hunchback to the dime. So.
Well,
I
Tush
have
has
no
not
idea
watched
what
The
this
Witcher
is, but
before
I
he
love
starts
it.
criticizing.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like born with like a physical disability, and then she like uses magic to morph into something
Well,
else.
when you go through the magic school, it's called like at the end of it, it's called like what is it fucking called? I don't think it's called initiation, but whatever it's called. At the end of it, it's called this. They ascend. They basically get to create their perfect image of themselves. So they get to basically perfect themselves in their own image until she like
Wow,
goes
that's
back there.
sick.
Um, um, but no. So Witcher season 3 coming out this summer. I'm excited for it because it is still Henry Cavill. I'm hoping that they don't absolutely trash the story on his way out, and hope that it's still good. From what I saw in the trailer, it's going to be a lot more like Wild Hunt stuff, which it is kind of the main, you know, I guess you could say the main antagonist in the overall Witcher series. So happy that they're bringing it in now and not just kind of teasing at it for 6 seasons.
Wasn't one? Hold on a second. Wasn't one of their other Witcher shows like one of the most downvoted and disliked shows of all time?
They had one other thing.
They had a different show that was like Blood Origins of the Witcher or something like
Blood
that.
Origins. Yeah,
I
and it
think it
had
was a
some of the
special or something, wasn't it?
yeah,
Was it a
but they had
special?
some of like they had crossover in the writers team. I'm
And
pretty
it was
sure.
rated. It was rated absolutely shit.
I didn't watch it.
I
It
never
terrible.
watched it, but I heard about it, and everybody's like, "This is absolute shit."
Well,
I was
people
watching.
like The Witcher is Geralt. Like Geralt's character carries that entire
Yeah,
story.
because it's bargain bin Lord of the Rings.
Okay, Connor.
I like Lord of the Rings. It's different to me, but I can see how you get there. But
No, I'm not gonna knock the world. It's a pretty well developed world. I've looked into it a little bit too. I'm just fucking
I think
with you
it's
guys.
it's I guess it's similar in terms of like medieval fantasy world type thing, but
Yeah.
I think that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, no, every medieval fantasy always runs the risk of being compared to Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the
unfortunately.
Rings, yeah.
It's the ultimate, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Are you guys excited about it? Connor, sounds like you are semi-excited, but Tusha and Curtis, sounds like you guys.
Pretty sure that was a resounding no head shake, but all right.
No, not excited.
No.
I'm fucking excited, dude. The Witcher 3 is my favorite game. So
With Henry Cavill, I'm pretty excited.
You know what I'm excited for? A
Right.
Henry Cavill Warhammer show. That'll be good.
That's true.
What's gonna happen though? So
I don't know. He'll probably get.
I thought he
abandoned from that
backed
role,
out of
too.
it, but I don't remember.
What?
I think he's still in it.
I think
Definitely.
he's still.
I thought there was mixed stuff going on with that in the story or whatever they were doing, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
I'll have to look
Wouldn't be
into
the
that
first time.
for next time.
Yeah. Couple. I just wanted to mention two other things for you guys. I know Crash Team Rumble. They had a beta out the other day, and I don't know if you guys are interested in it at all. I know Connor likes the Crash universe and everything, but getting a little bit mixed reviews. They said it's got a lot of potential, but it's a $30 game, and all it is the arena fight, so it's a little expensive just for an arena battle. There's also it said it's kind of a slow progressing battle pass, and you can purchase in-game cosmetics. Little curious about that, but we'll see how it goes. People are mixed on the beta, but think it's got potential. Second thing, Dead Rising 2's been out for I think a week now. Got some mixed reviews on there, kind of saying it's just like the generic zombie fighter game that Dead Island 2 usually is. But there's a lot of other reviews saying it's still pretty good, kind of fun to dick around, and kind of like that gory aspect of just doing whatever the hell you want. So kind of curious on that, of what you guys think. What the
I
viewers
heard
think,
I
anything,
heard that
but
there was only 2 zombie types. Now correct me if I'm wrong. Is that true?
I'm not 100% sure.
Because if that's
But
the case, that is abysmal, like variety. I know that
Yeah.
they have like different like multipliers or whatever for their abilities, but I think I saw one of my friends was telling me that uh there were literally only two enemy types.
like I think there's just berserkers, and then I think there's the bigger ones. They're like the tankier zombies, and then I'm pretty sure the berserkers, the regulars, and the tanks. But
Only
I
three?
don't know. I'm not sure.
I feel like if you're not going to have a ton of variety, then you're going to need to really kill it on the story. And I don't feel like Dead Island really ever does that. Um, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's so many zombie games, man. I fucking mix them all up.
Yeah, honestly.
No, Dead Island did not have like a crazy complex story.
No, yeah, that's from what I'm remembering. It's not all that complex. So
It's more focused on like the RPG aspects
yeah.
of like
Uh,
leveling up your character, getting cool weapons and stuff.
but in terms
Oh,
of
this
Craft
site's
Rumble, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
this site says there's 31 different zombie types
Oh, okay.
in Dead Island, so I guess it goes from like shamblers, walkers, runners, and then there's some firefighter runners and walkers. So I don't know if they're
Okay, well those aren't really.
They're just cosmetic
Yeah, I
differences.
think those are just variations. So like
Yeah.
one maybe
that
like
might
might
be
be
it.
yeah, I think that's where the dispute is. Like some of them might have more resistances to certain damage types, but they're basically the normal standard version.
Yeah, then they have a section for apex zombie type species, so those must be like the advanced form, which there's crushers, butchers, bursters, mutators, and then a couple other ones,
Okay, so there's some variety.
slobbers. Yeah,
There's some
Yeah,
variety.
I could be entirely wrong. It's just
yeah,
first
I haven't played it
inspection.
yet, so
It's possible that
but
whoever did that review just hadn't gotten far in the game enough to see those yet, but
I mean, it was
yeah.
Lance telling me, so I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know
okay.
just some new and trending games coming
He
out.
probably just hates
But
it because it's not Left 4 Dead 2.
it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Inside joke,
rest in
but
peace to that
Batman,
development.
Batman never wants to play anything except Left 4 Dead 2. Um, but no, I mean, Dead on 2. I'm kind of done with zombie games, more or
Yeah.
less. So I'm not all that
Yeah, I
excited
got
for like
flooded.
that genre. Um, but in terms of like Crash Rumble, I feel like that was something we kind of expected. We thought it was a cool concept, but is it going to do anything different than Super Mario Brothers? And why is it $30? So
Yeah.
not overly surprised that it's getting poor reviews.
It's mixed, but
Yeah, I've never really bought into the other Crash universe games. I just focus on the platformers. That's what they do good, so I'll stick to those.
yeah, probably the same. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Anybody else got anything?
I don't
Oh,
think
good.
so.
I think
We're like
that's it for
almost an
me.
hour in, so
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks everybody for joining. Again, we're on episode 14, so we're a few months into this now. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that bell to get notifications. Also, would love if you guys could follow us on social media: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, etc. But otherwise, we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.